Hey, this is Writer's Row. I'm DC Wright-Hammer, and I have a very special guest on this episode. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Carol Beth Anderson. I go by Beth, and I'm an author.
Yes, she is. We'll get into all of that in just a minute. For now, if you like the content I've been putting out on Writer's Row, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and if you want, hit that notification bell. So I brought Beth on this episode to talk through Amazon free days. We'll get into exactly what that is, but it allows you to basically give your book away, give an ebook away for free. And I recently ran one of these promotions on Amazon for 5 days. Now, I haven't been doing a ton of marketing over the last 2 years, so this was a way for me to put myself sort of back on the map as an author, someone who is looking to get readership. And then I happened to stumble upon Beth, who had just run one or recently ran one, and she had quite a bit of success. So before we dive into all that, let's just level set with the viewers. Beth, could you give us a description of what Amazon free days are? And let's start there.
Sure. So if you're signed up for KDP Select, which is Amazon's ebook exclusivity program, I think we're going to get a little bit more into detail about that later. But and so if your books are in Kindle Unlimited, they give you an option, a couple of options for how to promote those books. So you're in KDP Select for 90-day periods, and it automatically renews at the end of each 90 days unless you turn that off. And during that 90 days, you can do up to 5 days with your book being free, or you can do what's called a Kindle Countdown deal, where you can have up to 7 days with your book being discounted. And I think we're specifically going to talk about just the free day option today.
I've heard a wide variety of opinions on this on Twitter, from why would I ever give my book away for free to it's the best tool out there. I've seen that. People love doing this every
Right.
30 days. They'll just offer it. And so, I guess why would somebody consider doing Amazon free days? What's in it for them as an author?
Well, to me, some people will just do it because they want to get their book into people's hands, right? Some authors are out there not even really focused on profit, which is fine. And it's just like, okay, this is a way to get my book into people's onto people's Kindles for free, which is great. But I'd like for us to kind of focus on the profit side of it. Like, is there a way to actually be profitable when we're doing free days? So there's a few ways that you can make a profit with free days. One is that's a book that's in Kindle Unlimited. And if you market it well during the free days, you're not just getting it in front of people who want free books, you're also getting it in front of Kindle Unlimited readers. And you're just getting like this sort of massive influx of visibility during this free promo if you market it really well. And so some of the people who click on that book going, oh, wow, that looks like a good one that I might want to buy for free, they see that it's in Kindle Unlimited. And if they're Kindle Unlimited subscribers, some of them will just borrow it instead. And so when I have a good, successful free promo, I usually have a really nice uptick in Kindle Unlimited page reads, which actually does bring income to me. And so that's the first way. The second way is if it's the first book in a series, some people who get a book for free will go on and purchase other books in that series. And so you get what's called, read through. And when that's paid read through, you've got your other books that are $2.99 or $4.99 or however much they are. You can hopefully get some paid sales by bringing people in for free. And that's actually like a really common strategy when people are wide, when their books are not in KDP Select, where some people will have book one in a series permanently free. You can't do that in KDP Select, but you can do these free days just to bring in some new readers and get them into the series. And then if you have an audiobook, I usually get a really nice uptick in audio sales when I have a good free promo,
Okay.
because Amazon gives people the opportunity to like upgrade to the audiobook when they buy the book, even if it's free, or when they borrow it. So like most of my books are, it's like a $7.49 add-on on Amazon. So if they get the ebook, Amazon will then let them kind of upgrade to the audiobook for $7.49. And then, if I'm bringing in a bunch of extra audio sales, it can help make that free promo even more worthwhile.
Okay. You mentioned going wide just a moment ago. Can you just describe the difference between doing KDP Select and going wide for the viewers?
Yeah. So KDP Select, which puts you in Kindle Unlimited, for those of us who are indie authors, and that's specifically what we're talking about, you have to commit to having your ebook exclusively on Amazon for KDP Select. Now, people sometimes get confused with that. You can put your paperback or your hardcover anywhere you want, anytime you want. But if you're in KDP Select, your ebook has to be exclusive to Amazon. You can't sell it on Apple or Barnes and Noble. You can't even distribute it on your own website. You can only distribute it through Amazon. And so that's being in KDP Select or Kindle Unlimited. If you're wide, then you're not in KDP Select and you've got your book other places. So probably the biggest three are Apple, Barnes and Noble, and Kobo. Google Play is a big one also. People who are wide can even have their ebooks in libraries, which is one of the coolest things about being wide. People can borrow your book through like Overdrive and stuff in libraries. And so there's not like a better or worse. It's just really about how you want to promote. Do you want to promote to that wide audience of people who own different types of e-readers and who are library customers and all of that, and have your book available to all those people? Or do you want your book to be available to this audience of Kindle Unlimited subscribers, some of whom are like constantly kind of looking for new authors on Kindle Unlimited? And I've chosen to put most of my books into KDP Select because I bring in some nice income through Kindle Unlimited. But I see people that do wide that do really, really well with it. So you just kind of have to choose a path and then really commit to it and commit to focusing your marketing in that direction. And you can change paths, but I think it's good to kind of choose one and stick with it for a while and try to make the most of it.
Okay. And the Kindle Unlimited and then these promo deals or the free days or the promo deals, it's just another way of sweetening the pot. If you are exclusive with Amazon, use these as sort of marketing tools to help you maybe make up some of what you might be missing out if you go wide.
Exactly. Yeah. So those particular marketing tools, the free days or the Kindle Countdown deals, are not available if you're wide. You can do some stuff with your pricing when you're wide. You can kind of change some stuff on your own, but you don't have like those specific things set up that just make it really easy to set up a promo like that.
Yeah. To do my 5 days, it probably took about, I don't know, 5 clicks or something like that. And now, so, the free books don't just, they're not just downloaded by anybody, right? I mean, like, yeah, if they're free, anybody can download them, but they have to know, right? So walk us through how you might let people aware, so you're running these free days, you want to push volume and things like that. How do you make people aware about that?
Yeah, well, you and I were talking a little bit before we recorded about your free days that you really focused on social media, which is great. Like we work hard to build up our social media following, right? So absolutely stick it out there on social media. I've got a decent size, not huge, but a decent size newsletter too. So I always send them information and get some nice downloads there. But free days are all about numbers. And most of us don't have like hundreds of thousands of followers on social media or newsletter subscribers. And the reason it's about numbers is because a lot of freebie seekers, people who are reading free stuff, will put hundreds or thousands of free books on their Kindle. And they eventually get around to reading like this tiny percentage of them. So sometimes I'll see people on Twitter and they're like, this is so exciting. I put my book up for free and I've had 200 downloads. And I'm like, I don't say anything because I don't want to like burst a bubble. But like the fact is 200 downloads sounds great. But later on, that same person may be posting saying, nobody went on and bought my book too after downloading it. I haven't gotten any more reviews after 200 people downloaded it. I at least expected 20 people to read it and read my next thing. Well, no, 10% of people who get free books do not read them. It's a like little percent. And so ideally, you're wanting to get thousands of downloads when you do a free book promo. And that's what really starts to get you the numbers that you need to see some really nice Kindle Unlimited page reads come in, some audiobook, more audiobook sales if you've got that. And then some read through, which you're not going to have like tons and tons of it. It's going to be a small percentage, but if you've got thousands of downloads, and even that small percentage can give you a nice bump. So the best way by far that I have found is using really good services that have good sized mailing lists of people that are looking for free and discounted deals. So kind of the golden goose here is BookBub. Getting a BookBub featured deal. So we're not talking BookBub ads. We're not talking the new release deals. We're talking the BookBub featured deals. BookBub has mailing lists that are based on genre that often are millions of people. It depends on the genre. Sometimes it's less than 1 million, but it's still probably a few 100,000, even on their smallest genres. And we pay them to put our books on their mailing lists. Now, huge caveat here is that getting a book that's in Kindle Unlimited, in KDP Select, getting BookBub to accept it for a featured deal is difficult. They strongly prefer books that are wide. And so, but if you can get BookBub, it's amazing, because you're like, I got one time on a KDP Select book, and it actually was kind of this mistake that it even happened that I won't even get into, but I got it. And I think I had, and it was a book that I had put on free multiple times before and promoted other ways. I think I had about 10,000 downloads, and that was for one of their pretty small genres. It was their YA genre, which I forgot how many people they have on it, but it was only, I think, like $175 to promote on BookBub, which I know sounds expensive, but that's one of their least expensive genres. They're really expensive ones, it's going to be several $100s. And sometimes those people are getting 20,000 or more downloads. And so anyways, BookBub is great. They'll send it out and you just get this massive influx of new readers. But since most of us who are in KDP Select are not getting BookBub featured deals, there are other companies that are doing the same exact thing BookBub is doing. They just don't have lists that are as large. And so some of the most popular ones, FreeBooksy is a big one. I've used BookCave quite. That's been a successful one for me. Fussy Librarian. There's a bunch of them. And then there are a bunch that are like not very good that will very gladly take your money, but you're not going to see much of an uptick from them. So it's important to find the right promo deals to give your money to. And I know that, like, on Twitter, I think you've got a screenshot. I posted some lists that I love the list that's on Nicholas Eric's website. I've been using that one for years. Great list of really solid companies that you can promote through. Kindlepreneur has a list. David, I never know how to say his last name. David Goggrin, I don't know how to say it. Anyways, David Goggrin, however you say it, he's got a list of these promo sites. And so what I usually do when I'm doing like a 5-day promo deal, I usually book like 2 or 3 of these promo sites. You can do more, and if you do more, you might get your book up higher in the ratings. But once you've done a promo site once, it will not work as well the next time you do it. And so I might put a book on for free, use a couple promo sites, do it again however many months later, and use a couple more promo sites, and try to kind of gradually bring those readers in.
Got it. And as many of the links as I can provide in the description down below, just to give people an idea, I will do that. But we're talking moving huge volume here, right? Of an ebook that could be 99 cents, it could be $2.99. And so if you're moving 20,000 books that would otherwise, actually have a price tag to them, how do we judge the value? How do we know when we have return on investment on something where we're just pushing huge volumes for free?
Right. So first of all, when I'm doing a free deal, I'm usually doing it on a book that is not currently selling all that well, because like, I don't want to start out with a book that just came out and put it up for free when I've got all of these like loyal readers who are happy to pay $3.99 or whatever I'm selling it for. So it's easy to go, 10,000 people, if I'm making $2 a book, let's say it's a $2.99 book and I'm pulling in $2 a book, that's $20,000. Well, no, it's totally not $20,000.
Right.
Almost none of them would have bought it. And so,
Right.
so we're like waiting until we've gotten most of our paid readers in.
Mhm.
And then basically what I'm looking at is what was this book making before and what is it making now? And so, and then and sometimes I like really work hard and look at those numbers and say, did I actually make a profit? And sometimes I just kind of glance at it. But um, like recently, free deals do really, really well with a good box set. And so recently I took this box set that had been out for quite a while and was not selling very well anymore. Because I wait quite a while before I'm going to put a box set on for free, right? This is like I make a good amount of money when somebody buys.
The whole box set, right?
Right, the whole
Every
box
single
set.
book. Wow. Okay, go on.
So, and so it was, it's a three book box, or no, it was actually a 4 book box set. For it was the whole series. It was like the trilogy plus the prequel, and it just wasn't doing much anymore. And so I was like, I'm gonna do the free days just to bump it up. And so I sent you the screenshot of this. Like my sales on that were like pretty flat,
Mhm.
and I didn't even have very many Kindle Unlimited reads coming in on it. And in like the few months after I did the free days, I made like over $400 on Amazon on this box set because my Kindle Unlimited reads just like went through the roof. And that's not even counting the extra audio sales. Those are just
Yep.
like gravy on top, you know? So yeah, like to me, I'm looking at, okay, what was I making before? Very little. I think I spent about $170 on promos for that one. So you got to look at what you're spending on promos. If you do Amazon ads, I'm just going to tell you, I totally suck at Amazon ads. So I almost just don't do them. It's just not my thing. But if you do, you want to look, like sometimes your ads will start running a lot more when your book is free. And so you want to look at how much more did I spend on ads than I would have spent otherwise. You're just looking at all the money that you're putting into that and looking at not just what did this do during the 5 days. My Kindle Unlimited reads didn't even go up much until after the 5 days because people are putting it on their Kindle and eventually getting to it, you know?
Yep.
And so I look at it like for months after that. And yeah, if it's a book I might have made $100 on over those months and I'm making over 400 and I only spent $170 on it, that's a great
Mhm.
ROI, you know. And then I do the same thing with my if I'm looking at the audio sales, like that book actually does sell pretty well in audio. So I need to look at what was I selling monthly in audio on that book and how much did it actually go up.
Yeah, and I think we wouldn't move this much volume anyway, like you're saying.
Right.
So you can't just take the book cost normally, the ebook, price,
Right.
and multiply it like you said at the beginning. And I think the other thing is it just becomes this powerful tool if you can stack promotions.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was releasing my second novel, I made the first one free for
Yes.
5 days and I moved like 1,500 copies just from social media. So I didn't know,
Yeah, that's great.
right. And so 1,500 copies, and that did boost. That was one of my best months for sales, not just for the free copies. It reminded so many of my friends and family that I had that book out. Like, I think that's the other thing. We take it for granted how much marketing and pushing of our books that we do. But someone said, and especially the best part was the one I just did. I moved 1,100 books again just through social media. I hit number 6 in my genre, my main genre, and I said, "Hey, I really appreciate everybody who's downloaded this for free. Can you help me get to number 1? And can you share this?" And suddenly it blew up. And in fact, my request for people to share my pinned tweet actually got more traction than the pinned tweet itself. People were just so excited to help, like they're sharing, like there was this buzz that I hadn't felt as an author in probably 2 years because I did take a long hiatus for personal reasons. I've talked a little bit about it on this show. But I think stacking the promotions and thinking of it as a marketing cost, like, and like you said, if you can also then spend a little bit on marketing services or whatever, anything you can do to sort of sandwich in all that extra exposure, all that, has been huge. And as a result, I haven't made a lot of money, probably like 25, $30, but I had to mail out a paperback copy. Someone realized I was an author again, and they're like, "Hey, can I get a signed copy?" And someone bought the sequel, a few copies of the sequel after the free, and I've got some KU reads. I haven't had KU reads in a long time, and so, I think it definitely makes sense, if you're a indie author that's really looking for, why would I ever devalue my work? I think if you think about it that way, this probably is, you might want to go wide, or you might want to think, a little bit more about it. But if you think about it as a marketing cost, as opposed to, giving your hard work away for free, I think that's where you're going to feel better about it. And then
definitely
you have so many more products that you can sell, products as in books and varieties of books. And so, I think the free days, you have to think about this ripple effect across your whole catalog.
Yeah, some of them, like recently I've gotten some decent page reads, not big, but like some page reads on my first series. And I'm like, that series doesn't even sell much anymore. So you have to wonder, is that somebody who it might have been somebody who came in under a free day on my second series and then kind of went on to look at my backlist. And I have a story that's really similar to yours. My best month ever on Amazon was when book 3 of my second series came out. And so I did a promo where for 5 days, like starting the day that book 3 came out, I had book 1 free, book 2 $1.99. So I used the Kindle Countdown deal, and I didn't do 99 cents because I'm like, people will pay $1.99 and I'm making twice as much there. And in case people don't know, the nice thing about Kindle Countdown deals is usually at under $2.99, you're only making 35%. But with the Kindle Countdown deal, they'll go ahead and give you the 70% minus that, what's the fee that is based on the size of the book? I forgot what it's called. But they keep your royalties at the higher level because you're doing this KDP Select promo. And so I was making, it wasn't a lot, but I was making, what would that be? Like maybe like $1.30 on each of those $1.99 sales. And then book 3 was full price, which was $4.99. And I don't remember how many copies of book 2 I moved at $1.99, but I think it was like 40 something or something, which was great for me considering this is a book that had been out for quite a while. And I think I did about $110 of like newsletter promos on book 1. So it wasn't a huge one. I didn't put tons and tons of money into it. But near the end of the month, I'm looking at my sales and realizing I'm really close to this being my best Amazon month ever, just purely KDP. And so I did what you did. I put the word out on social media, and I would not do this very often. You don't want people to start feeling like you're like manipulating them into buying,
Exactly.
Oh, wow, last month was my best month ever. And this month is going to be too, buy something else, So this is, I think, the first time I'd ever done this, where I went on social media and I was like, you guys, I'm looking at my sales and it looks like this might be my best Amazon month ever. I appreciate you so much. And if you can help me get there, that would be great. And sure enough, I had my best Amazon month ever. And so much of it was due to that promo where people were coming in and literally buying the entire series. Well, free $1.99, $4.99. And then you had like all the extra exposure that comes from that, where you've got a bunch of new Kindle Unlimited readers. And that's not taking audiobooks into account. I love audiobooks and they're a big part of my marketing, but this can be successful without them too. So.
Yeah, no, big success. I've already had 4 additional ratings on Amazon in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Two additional reviews.
Nice.
And then on Goodreads, I also got 2 more reviews. That is much faster than I
that's really fast.
So when I first gave away 1,500, I estimated that I got about 1% return in reviews on that. So I got about 15 reviews out of giving away 1,500 books, just, because a lot of them were like, hey, like free book or whatever. Like, some of them mentioned, hey, this is a steal because I got it for free on download in the actual review. And so, just kind of watching the uptick. And so I don't know if people can count on that, like a 1% return on, I think it's probably less than that in general.
Here's what I think. I've been thinking about this lately. your readers that come from social media and your newsletter, I think you're going to get better percentages there than you do through the people that are subscribed to BookBub and FreeBookC and all these different ones.
Okay.
Because the people that are subscribed to these newsletters are the ones that are getting newsletters every single day with free books.
Right.
And a lot of them are the ones that have thousands that they're never going to read. Whereas those people that you're catching on social media, they're not all freebie readers. Some of them are people that are just like, cool, I get a free book. And they're like so much more likely to buy it because they're not regularly downloading free books. So that's something to be said about us continuing to build our own audiences through social media and newsletters. And by the way, 1,500 without doing paid promo is like great. I don't know that I've ever gotten those numbers. Well, and I'm usually doing paid promo, so I can't really tell, where numbers are coming from. But like, I remember one time doing one without paid promo, and I don't think my numbers were anywhere near that. So that's awesome.
I moved 121 times, so it's not a sure, it's not a sure deal. But I did hit #1 in my genre after I asked for help when I got to #6. I was there for 36 hours. It was like,
that's great.
Kind of really awesome. It just felt, it reinvigorated me as an author and as a person who has to sell my works, right? And so I thought that was great. I guess the last thing I'll ask you is if anybody is considering doing free days or even considering signing up for KDP. I know it's every 90 days you can, you can sign this sort of contract, if you will, and go solo with them. What kind of advice would you have for those people?
So the first thing I would consider is like the timing of when you do this for the first time, because if you promote it well, your promotion dollars are usually going to go the furthest the first time you put it in, or the first time it's free. And that's not taking BookBub into account. BookBub like changes everything because it's so powerful. Even if you put your book on on free 1 billion times and then you put it on BookBub, you're still probably going to get a massive number of downloads. But all these other ones, you've got all these crossover of different, people that are subscribed to multiple lists. And so once they've gotten your book for free, they can only get it for free once. So you want to think, when's the first time I'm going to do this? And if you're writing a series, I say don't put it for free until you've got something they can buy, until book 2 is available. Now I will tell you that one time that I got that BookBub that I didn't expect to get, book 2 was not available, but it was on pre-order, and I bumped up the release of it so that it was releasing, I think, like 3 weeks after the BookBub, and I couldn't bump it up any further, but I got good read through still. But anyways, if you wait until book 2 is available, then that first really big promotion you do can actually have some paid read through. If you're not writing books in a series, it's going to be harder to be profitable with freebies. Now, if it's a book that you're getting that like is in a good genre for Kindle Unlimited, it may still be worth it for that uptick in Kindle Unlimited reads. But it's just hard to say because like when you're looking at like these multiple avenues that the profit is coming from, Kindle Unlimited and read through and audiobooks, like if all you have is Kindle Unlimited on one book, you're less likely to actually make it work. So you just have to think through. And I would just say, like, if you're writing standalone books and also you don't even have a backlist, like it's your one book, if you're going to try putting it free, wait until the sales have really slowed down and don't put tons and tons of money into promoting it. Just maybe like try one of these sites and kind of see how it goes. And, I saw somebody recently who just has one book and it's a memoir, and she put it for free because it was like the book's 1-year anniversary, I think, of coming out, and it was like a thank you to people. And I think that's great. Like it can be kind of part of a marketing effort where you're getting some of your friends and stuff to buy it, and then like you said, some of them might decide to buy the paperback or something instead. But you just have to be careful. Like it can become a money pit if you don't have a good path towards actually making a profit there. But if you're writing standalones and you have a backlist, that's another thing that can help you be profitable, is because especially if it's a backlist in the same genre, some of those people are going to go on and read your other stuff.
Awesome. Well, this has been helpful for me, and thinking about ways I can do better, free days in the future, and just promoting my book in general. So really appreciate you coming on. It's been a blast. I'm writing another book, and I'm planning on how I can, get people interested in the original books that I have. So this is all kind of going into that. So really appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
And appreciate everybody who's watched this long, and we'll catch you all next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.